Welcome to the Language Mental Health channel. We got our guest today, Antonio Arroyo.
Hey guys.
Today's episode's a couple fellas on a plane. Might sound a little bit different, but I think the whole journey between us has been different. This whole journey really, and we did meet on a plane, did we not?
Yep, we met on a plane, and this guy came in the plane like looking like he was a superstar. I was like, man, this guy gotta be Insta famous or something. And then he starts talking to me, and I'm like, what? And then like we kept talking, and we start feeling the energy starting to match, and it was a connection from the beginning.
And Tony, where were you at hearing you say that? It's funny because that's been a comment you've said a few times of, hey man, are you Insta famous? And I think even at this point, my Instagram's like...
The Instagram, he doesn't even have Instagram.
Yeah,
and I was like, this gotta be Insta famous, dressing like that, looking like that, shining like that.
Well, I think there was something more to that formula in talking with you. We kind of started talking about formulas and you were in your path in your life, and I was in a path in my life. And we got to a point where crossing those roads and getting to know each other a little bit, it was something that honestly I'll never forget, but a lot's come in that journey, you know? But tell me a little bit about that path for you. Where were you coming from, you know? We were headed to Brazil, right?
Yeah, I was coming back to Brazil after a fight that didn't went so well. So it was good to have someone to talk to about it. And we had time because the flight is long. So we talked and we got to know each other. I got to know about him, about what he does. He got to know about what I do. And he didn't say it right away, but we got like the contact, we got each other's contact. And after that he said, hey, I work like this. I could start helping you. I could give you a little bit of my time and try and make it better.
What was it like for you, even just hearing something like mental health? Because I remember what it was like when I brought it up. You were like, shoot, man, like at this point, sure. You know? You were like, sure, like if it's something, you know, that can help you.
Whatever adds.
Yeah. What was the like, though, hearing mental health and then really getting a feel for what the language is, though? And what my version of mental health is.
Yeah. It is something different that other stuff. Because it's so, you know, it's today. It's something that it's today. It's something that it will teach you in a way that you will understand, and it's not boring. But it's the fact that it's not boring doesn't mean that you don't have to pay attention, because it is a lot of information. But once you get all this stuff and the things start working in your mind, it's like boom, 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 boom. It is different.
It's a system.
It's a system.
It definitely, we put in some work, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, you know.
We know each other for like 4 years now, 3 years.
Yeah. And honestly, you're my brother. You know?
We're friends.
And,
we created a relationship.
We did. In this album, in the Essentials album, a lot of the tracks, pillars from Sphere to learning how the real light versus that fake light, all of these lessons, and then using them in real life. And you know, like even right now in our time in Brazil, we're just kicking it, and I'm doing this project with the Essentials album. It hasn't launched yet. Possibly by the time you're seeing this episode, you're seeing those reels, and it's happening per the game plan, but we're using the language day to day.
It's a way of living. It's like a style of life. Just like I'm a fighter, so working out's my style of life. It's my lifestyle. And I believe applying the language and all his tools in your life, it's a kind of lifestyle. It is a different life. It is a different life because you don't have to guess. You don't have to wonder. You know what you're supposed to do. You might not get it right at the time, but you know what you're supposed to do. And that's already like more than 90% of the people have.
No, I love that you say that, because I believe people at home checking this out, and this channel really is, our focus is for men. And I want to get into some of the issues with men in the world. You know, being Brazilian and just the culture, we've been having this conversation about, we have beliefs, we have our culture. Like men can be kind of hey, I'm not going to show my feelings. I don't need that. I'm good, you know. But I really think it starts to cap you off on what you can do when you don't know the formula. It's like learning that there's a Larry, learning that your mind's designed to lie to you, learning that we don't want to pay full price for you know, anything, the emotions we feel. We want to be successful. This is all about success since day one.
All of the stuff you're just telling me is the stuff we struggle with. We want to grow, and there's a lot of walls in front of us, and we struggle with that. What your job is to make it easier, and the language, that the job of the language, it's helping understanding ourselves and start reacting the right way to the stuff that comes at us,
and knowing where to put it. You know, I think when you put it in a location where you evolve, right? The frameworks, it's a system to where you're developing your odds, and really just like gambling, there's odds. We gamble on ourselves, you know. And right now in your life, your career, where are you at in your career right now, Antonio?
Bro, let me talk to you about it a little bit now. So after I got to the UFC, I didn't have a good run in there, and it was one of my biggest dreams to have a good run in the UFC and make it, you know, it. At least break 500.
100%. I love it. We're using this language as we should. As we should.
I wasn't able to, but I met this guy and we started working, and I think now that the job is mature, I'm out of the UFC. I'm fighting for Karate Combat. It's another platform, but I'm still fighting, and I didn't give up. And it's better now. I coming off 2 wins, almost getting a belt on my weight class. So I just believe if you, it's not gonna come easy. It's not like, oh, I met Julian, I started teaching him, I started studying his things, like the language. Now I got it. Now it's easy. No, it's not like that. You gotta still work. You gotta have it all in here, and it's not like it is a lot of stuff to remember.
Yeah, and speaking of this process, Antonio, you've been watching the tracks.
Oh yeah,
I haven't been showing anybody.
I'm the first one who watches the tracks, and I'm enjoying it. It gets me. Sometimes he starts talking, and I'm like, whoa. I'm watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love when you were last night. You were like, no, the next one.
Next one. Let's go.
Like, how many are there? And then just excited about the movie, and you are going to star in this movie for us.
Oh yeah,
it's fun.
It's a blast. It's so good to be part of your wave, and I'm glad you're part of mine.
Just hearing what we're saying together, waves and being here for each other. Honestly, there's a lot of people who can't say that. They're not happy for each other. They're not putting in that work, and this has been an organic experience.
Sometimes they don't even have a wave.
Yeah, that's true.
To ride on.
That's true. But I think you and me both had waves before we met each other.
Oh yeah.
And we've talked about relationships where people have come into my life and ridden those waves, but it was just because of the wave. And when we got to know each other, part of using this language, especially for athletes, everyday people, artists, has been the focus, of course, but it is for everyone. This channel is for men, but it is for everyone. The language would help everyone. But I'd say that when you meet people and you're getting that exposure, it is something where you got to know the pillars, the target, the layers. You have to evolve and know what you're looking for. And we were able to do that to even build this trust in this relationship.
Oh yeah.
We have data and know where to put the data, because it'd be easy just to kind of be like, hey, let's do this. You got that, I got this. But I think we're at a special point where there was stuff to prove, and I put my money where my mouth was, and I told you I'd be able to do things, and we accomplished that together.
Oh yeah.
And seeing you're betting too on yourself, and your career's been changing. And tell me about that maturity part, though. Like you were saying that UFC meant so much to you, right? But help them understand maybe like what kind of happened for you to see things differently. Like, like in your experiences, like just the way you see your preparation, just the fighting, the choices in your life, where you put your energy, people you date, all that stuff? Like, how's that been where you're just more mature now in your career?
Yeah, so I don't know if it was like lack of maturity. I was so young, or I wasn't ready for the big lights, or maybe to the attention of people. I couldn't deal with not knowing if the person is getting close to me, if because she likes me or because the person wants to ride my wave. I don't know.
It's a complicated one. One of the first things too we were hit on the plane, going back to the plane, was signature. And I think that was the first formula I ever gave you. I talked about signature and was talking about how you have your own signature, and that's what makes it.
You talked about the key too?
Yeah, holding your keys,
holding
and
the
doing
keys,
all that.
yeah.
And with future albums, y'all will definitely get into that. But really, in just a snapshot of it, just chopping it up, about holding the power and you not allowing other people to dictate how you live your life, having your own style. I do believe I've seen that growth. When you had this recent fight, I remember how you were in that interview and you called them out and were just excited, and I saw that version of you and I'm like, my man, leveling up. Like, he's just letting it rip. He just won that fight in the Caribbean, that
breaking
one from the
the
Caribbean.
stuff, mic dropping and shit.
Yeah. I'm like, man, you were outside the glass.
I was like, boom.
You were outside the glass and you fought great fight, and you're still in this fight. There was an unfortunate bump there, and seems like we're gonna have a continuation there. How are you feeling it going into this rematch potentially?
So by the time I did that interview that you just talked about, I had no idea that all that was gonna happen. I had no idea that my call was gonna get answered.
Gotcha.
I was just on hype on the moment. I had just fought, I knocked the guy out, and they got me for the interview, and I just asked for more. I just wanted more right away. I fought the other guy. It was a no contest. I was winning though, but accidental headbutt stopped the fight. So there's no winners. We are going to do it again in June, and I'm gonna get what's mine. I just feel it. It was just a bump. It was just a bump. I'm gonna get there. I already have the tools. I already felt it. We're gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep grinding. There's no way around it. Once you put everything together and start working, and you know what you want, and you know what you do, and you know what to do, and you know what you want, and you apply this stuff, it's really hard not to get where you want to be. Really hard.
We said the word maturity, and I want to replace that. I think it's evolution. You evolved. And
leveling up.
Hey, that's right. And you did stack them up, the wins. And the wishes table, everyone in that intro is going to be seeing an opportunity to see if your wish would come true with the language. And, in the track one, not going to spoil anything, the whole album, they're going to learn exactly how to do that.
I don't think the word wish, it's the best fit. I believe a goal.
It is the goal, right?
Because it's something you have to work on. Wish sounds like rubbing a lamp or something. I have 3 wishes.
And you know why I say it
work.
first?
I have a goal.
Yo, you're right. I say it first because usually people aren't even ready for the work. You just start with like going, what would you want? Oh, I would want this. And then you're like showing them it's possible. And then you're like, okay, here's the goals. But you're right. They're goals and they're doable. There's nothing that's not doable.
They just have to learn what I just said. It's not a wish. It's a goal. It's an objective.
One brick at a time.
One brick at a time. Start stacking them up. I'm sorry, guys. It's not my first language, so sometimes
I think you killed it in English, man. I love it. But even doing that, we take that for granted. Just the fact that you're willing to talk, you speak English. It's not your native language. It's outside the glass too.
Oh yeah, I'm total outside my glass right now, and I don't care. I even feel good about it.
No, I love it, man. And even before this started, we were laughing. We were like,
chilling.
Sun's coming down. My hair's probably going everywhere. But at the end of the day, it really is about giving a sense of value and letting people know. Let's talk a little bit more about just men and our evolution though together. Like, what would it be like as far as just what needs to happen in the culture today with men, sports? A lot of people have been complaining, Antonio, that younger generation's been kind of like, they're soft.
Whack.
Like they want things quick. They don't want to work. What's going on, man? How do we change it, bro?
How do we change it? That's the question, right? I totally agree with what you're saying. It's just like the words getting softer and softer. People want things fast. They want things. They want big things. They don't want to work. They want things fast and easy. They don't want to work for the things that they wish, because all they want to do is wish. They don't want to work on that shit.
You're right.
They don't want to have a goal. They want to have a wish.
You're right.
Oh, I just wish, and it's gonna drop right here. No, it's all like that. And so when people start growing up and realizing that it's not wishes, wishes are goals. You have to go after it. So they get soft. They want to hide behind the curtains. They want to hide behind the sofa, the screen. Yes. They want to hide behind the screen. They don't.
Well, the screen's making it look easy, and then a lot of people are fake about it. But something that I learned though is that I'm realizing is every direction, Antonio, is gonna have some losses. There's gonna get some cracks in those pillars.
Oh yeah. There's
but
no
the
way
generation
around
almost
it.
thinks that they shouldn't, because then that would mean they're gonna make it. They only want to do it if they know they'll make it.
Yeah, that's it.
Like they're like, I'll do the work, but I want to know already, like, how much you're gonna pay me. So how much am I gonna make?
They want guarantee.
Yeah, they want guarantees.
There's no guarantee in life,
no guarantees, baby.
No guarantees.
Except for the guarantee that you're not gonna make it probably doing that.
The only guarantees that you have is the ones that you give to yourself. Those are the only guarantees that you will ever have. Besides that, you just gotta count on luck if you believe it.
Tell me more about what you just said, though, man. For real, that kind of hit me a little bit. Like, guarantee you make to yourself.
The only guarantees that exist that really valid are the ones that you make to yourself. I can make a promise to myself, and I can guarantee that I will keep that promise. I can't guarantee you to keep your promise. I can guarantee nobody to keep their promises. The only promise that are like guaranteed, the only guaranteed things are the ones that we promise ourselves. I can start working with Julian and he'll guarantee he'll do something, he'll pay me that amount if I do that work. But even then, it's not really guaranteed, because it's not me. I'm not paying myself, he's paying me. So it's about trust and know who to trust. That's when the language comes in.
You think people are ready for it?
They're gonna have a mind-blowing experience, because once you start like mastering it gets easy. Like most of the stuff that I use to struggle, like easy stuff that you know that you don't even supposed to care about, but you care. But now you start to know how to act because you have the tools.
Man, I'm sitting here thinking, just like how in having the journey for my own goals, you know, we get policed a lot, huh?
Oh yeah. Whew.
And policing is definitely a term that they're gonna learn, but we get policed a lot.
We get policed even to make those promises to ourselves.
Because the ripple effect, though, and because it has value.
And because it's hard.
Man, there's hard things I experience today.
Oh, everything.
At
least you should. If everything's going too easy, you're doing something wrong, man.
No, like on the real though, like even today, just some things in my personal life, it was just one of those things where you get those thoughts and it's just like, man, you're doing all this work, Julian, you know, why are you even doing this, Julian, you know, like, and I have to think to my purpose and knowing the rules of the game and go, man, if it's something of value, it's going to be attacked, man. And unfortunately, that is just kind of the way the game's been going. You start to do some things, then people come, you know, but it's usually people distance themselves. They only want winners, huh?
Oh, yeah. Because they want the results. They want to see it before they go in. They don't want to bet on anything.
But don't you and me both have labels and losses, and we've been through stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So what do we do when we go through things? Because there's men listening to this, everybody, right? They can pretend, but you've been through stuff. They've been through stuff. Then it's like thinking, how can I do that? You know, I've made this mistake, or I'm this person. This person thinks I'm that. You know, I think the change, Antonio, is that the reality of it is they haven't tried with everybody. They haven't met everyone. Their circle, the world's huge, man. You can start over.
The way I see it nowadays, people are afraid of live. They don't want to take risks. They don't want to get hurt. They are like, that's why they hide behind the screens. That's why we're living like we're living. That's why our kids don't go out at the streets anymore. They keep home. It's hard to say it, but we are building a generation that I don't think it's gonna be so well accomplished as our father's generation, and as mine and our father's generation.
And I realize that there's this vibe and momentum. I realize
it's just like the way once you get far away from it, it's how you see it.
Right.
It is.
But let me tell you a vision I have. And when I say vision, it is a goal. It's not just a wish, you know, because I could wish for a better world, but I have a vision and I see the goals that we would have to do. I see, first, the problem you were saying is people watch other people's lives. People are watching this. You are. But I don't want you just to watch this. I want you to live your life. If you just sit at home and you watch this, that's not really the goal. I want you to watch it, learn, and then go live your life.
You gotta go outside the glass.
Yes, 100%. But I would say that if out of all the countries, you know, there's a lot of rumors of war these days. Our lives can be different. We're blessed, man. Few views, whatever it is. Just the fact that I'm having these conversations, I know it's light. I feel it's light, Antonio. And in those tracks, doing the best effort I could. I know that it's light. So if my life is that I'm making a mental health movie, I'm making the album, I'm helping people, who cares? But you know, I'm happy, man. I'm happy doing it. But I would say, Antonio, the first country that adapts mental health, bro, that can kind of like put the ego down and go, you know what, hold on a second. Maybe these scientific plays that have evidence through the literature, through research, I just, as an artist, created a different way of it. Maybe they'll give me an advantage. I feel like the first country that does it, man, that's the new water. Like the ones that be like, hold on a second, we got core beliefs, we got the glass and the lion, we got these goals, we have Larry, we can evolve. The first one who gets that, but they have to do something to get it though. I feel like my finger's on it, but what would you say they have to do, Antonio? What for like the average Brazilian guy to just accept the help? They have to do what?
In my vision, they need to understand that this learning how to act and behave in society, how to make the best decisions. This is just as much as should be a class, as much as math, as much as Portuguese, or even as much as financial education. Financial education is a great example because I think it fits right in. Because financial education, and you gotta have
which meshes in with the language because it's those habits to keep the budget to do that. But yes, the structure of that, yes.
Yeah, the financial education and the mental health education. It's just education. You gotta have it. Otherwise, you're just in the dark, throwing punches at the dark.
You're right. But what the world's done today is they give you a mental health day where they say take the day off. And I'm not saying that doesn't give you any good. It's good to take some time off. But that's it? That's mental health? It's ignorant, man.
The way I see the world right now, all he does is work against your mental health. Having the phone all day in your life, having the phone the first thing you see when you wake up, it's your phone. That's bad for mental health. Talking to, I don't know, 10,000 girls at the same time, that's bad for your mental health.
Yeah.
Having everything so easy in the palm of your hand, that's bad on your mental health.
Yeah.
So you gotta have someone or something that is helping it.
Yeah.
Because all the other stuff is getting, like, it's destroying it.
check out your unique position though, Antonio, and I don't think you even realize this, brother. I don't even think I've said it to you. I think in a way we just think it's obvious, but the truth of the matter is being a professional fighter, you do have status, brother. You do. But that status allows people to go, wait, if a pro fighter does it and he's gambling on himself, maybe it's not like not cool, you know? It is cool. And I think athletes, having been a collegiate athlete and coach, athletes are going to be the ones that might start the wave of it being like cool. And I think especially in America,
because athletes are the ones who have the more obligation to win their minds. I have to win my mind every day, otherwise I'm not an athlete. Exactly. Otherwise I don't have success. Well, if I lose my battle to the candy or to the pizza or to not working out, that all those fast cars, if I don't police them,
my man,
where am I gonna go?
Yeah,
when am I gonna stop?
The wrong way, probably. And this will be provided in universities. We are going to do the research. It's going to be to the general public. But I know it'll make a difference. It's already scientific. It just hasn't been in a collective way been delivered. Now, Antonio, I was just going to say, you know, like for athletes though, it got in my mind. I just want to make sure before I forget, just the culture of being an athlete gets distractions, man. It gets you away from the training, from the things, you know, and especially with college football in America, you know, it's a huge distraction. And as you know, and gotten close to me, and people are going to know a little bit of the dash of it in the album, I've had different life experiences, brother. Oh, yeah. That gave me a lot of wisdom. And like my classic saying is, life gives you wisdom, but you also have knowledge. Combine them together, but that is power, my friend. You make sense of your experiences, you know. What were you going to say?
I just believe that the way you lived your life, so many ups and downs, so many extremes, gives you join it with the knowledge that you have when you did your college, when you got your degree. That's why it makes it special, because you're not like some nerdy guy who was not living, just playing video games or whatever. You were there. You were out in the streets. You were living. Yeah. And then you got the information. You got the literature, and you could mix a human being who lived, who experienced a lot, and then the literature. Oh,
that's what's up.
So, and then he starts linking up shit. That time that I did that shit,
yeah,
I should have done this way, or I should have done that way. And the best part is, he teaches you in a way that it's fun and it's easy. It has like frames, it has images. It's not like heavy on you, you know. It's not like, oh my God,
If I say online course, it doesn't even like do it justice, you know. But it is in a way, it's structured like that. But it's not really. I put a lot of work into trying to give it the best I could for people, man. Really.
And it's still simple.
That's cool. I appreciate you saying that, my man. When it came to you being where you're at in your life, like, I mean, I'm thankful you appreciate it. I'm thankful you're using it, you know?
Oh, yeah. It just brings maturity to decision, to attitude. Just brings maturity to how you should be, how you should act, how you know where you are being valued and where you are not being valued.
I like that.
It helps. It gets your vision. It opens up your vision.
It's an eye.
Oh,
you see differently, you know? You see things differently.
It's almost like a third.
Yeah, like third eye. In Power Track, we hit that. But you know, to be more powerful, you got to know your powers, and you got to know the weaknesses that come with those powers. And I think people aren't doing that work to be like, yeah, you know what? Through all the wins I've had in my life, all the losses I had in my life, that makes sense. I was assembled this way. That's when I became so loyal. That's when I learned how to be creative. And that's real work. No one's gonna do that for you.
And you only start realizing those stuff when you have the language, because then you start licking up shit. Oh, so that's why I act that way, because when I was growing up and the same thing happened, I act that way. But now I know it, and now I can change my link, and now I can make it better, because I'm realizing it.
I'm glad we watched Link last night. I love it. It's been a good time.
It's good.
This lifestyle, just wanting to help people. It's good. It's good. We got this movie tomorrow, huh?
Oh yeah.
You're
Gonna do some acting, some playing.
You're gonna play a bad guy,
Ooh.
someone in my life.
I mean,
all true stories.
I'm such a good guy that it's gonna be kind of hard for me. But at least I have the looks.
Well, you do got some looks. I don't know if you look like the nicest, most trusting guy.
Oh yeah, I don't look like that nice, but I am.
But we've learned with Breaking 500, we don't generalize and put people in boxes. But I had the thought too, speaking of that though, the labels of going through what you were saying, and honestly, brother, I'll never forget. Thank you, man. You know what you had said. I appreciate it a lot. It's things that I think when we're just doing this and knowing that there's people who are going to be
but of
listening
course,
to this.
It's not out of nowhere that I'm here. It's not out of nowhere that I dipped in this shit.
No, you're right.
It is good. It's good stuff.
No, you're right. I appreciate it, man. But you know, there's just labels where when you've gained that experience, people, you'd be surprised. You know, I'd get some athletes or people in my career, and then their parents weren't learning the language, but they're just more like, I almost got people by mistake. It'd be like, hey, he's smoking weed. No, that can't happen. Go to mental health. This guy looks like he went to a good school or whatever. He helps athletes, but they really had no idea of what it was about, and they almost had an attitude like, well, we don't need mental health. We're good. And it's like hard to get them to understand, like, no, everybody needs to learn the curriculum.
Oh yeah, it is no shame. It is no shame to accepting that you have to learn how to think. That's it. That's it. You just have to learn how to think properly. To order your thoughts in a certain way that will make you realize things faster. You won't suffer that much anymore. You will suffer, but not that much.
Yeah, you do have to pay the price, huh?
Oh yeah. There's no way around it. There's no easy life. If you're looking at here and this is gonna solve everything.
I don't even think it's just
not like that.
It's one thing like the difficulty just to go, I'm gonna go and hit that goal, but then you're gonna get those losses and fall into like some holes sometimes, and you have to climb out.
We're just being real here. We cannot get here and tell you that everything's gonna be solved. No problem is gonna happen again. Everything won't be solved, but now the problems that gonna show up in front of you, now you know how to act in front of them. Now you know how to deal, how not to show too much, not even too little, how to give it the proper amount of thought that problem needs. Not too much, not too little, just the exactly amount. And that's what the mental health will do to you.
You know, the Essentials album is not going to have the triangle, but they're going to get that stuff later. But what's it like using the triangle for you against Larry?
Oh yeah,
it's classic, right? I mean,
it's just,
not getting into it, right? But just kind of like breaking down, like, because you're a fighter, right? But then I kind of explained to you that we fight Larry.
Oh yeah.
And then just having fights.
I didn't even know I had Larry inside of me.
I don't think a lot of people at home know that there's a Larry either, but Larry is the voice in our
It's our
head.
alter ego.
Yeah, sure. And we are built to kind of lean towards our instinct, which isn't always our super ego.
I was just looking at a video today of Schwarzenegger saying, comfort is your enemy. And that's where we run the most. We run for comfort.
Sometimes.
I don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not talking some shit just to make a video. That guy had a life. What a life. He knows. So you just don't. You have to know how to go after.
Right. But most people also don't even know that they're inside the glass. Or the craziest part is doing time for crimes they never committed and having those beliefs.
Oh yeah, we've all paid time for crimes we didn't commit.
Right,
We've all.
everybody. Because the way we see the world, oh, this happened to my dad, this person told me this, there's all these like beliefs that...
Sometimes, just overthinking things sometimes.
Yeah, well the glass isn't even real, Antonio. It's not even real, it's just the rules we live by before we'll actually go into situations. So I know a lot of our growth together was you just started to smash those rules. You just started to break rules and be like, all right, I'll just do this. I'll do that. And I did teach you the rules of the game in a way, and I think especially when it came to a big part, biggest pillar I feel like in your life was I know you started to get closer to light, your definition of light. And that was probably the coolest part because, man, we laugh about a lot of stuff, but when we start talking about things that have value, this journey in life, we talk about our belief system, talk about choices.
People.
Been in Brazil and we see fake light, real light, and we start to kind of, we started talking about those little rules. Me and you we went for a stroll. We were just saying how there's different ways for you to add to your aura, which we'll learn in Flawless, of just really, what was it that night? What were you seeing that we were really doing that was different, that added the good light? Those little rules, when we were just kind of like seeing people and we were like, you saw me talking to people. What was that like?
All you gotta do is just have fun. You have fun, you talk, you show goodness. Like when you talk about something, you don't talk expecting something back. You just talk. You just give. And if it comes back, it comes back.
And I'm not gonna act like I've been perfect. I mean, I had my little moments in the night where I got frustrated, or there were things that we're talking, I'm laughing, and I kind of break that rule and I'm like, shoot. And you see me catch myself. I'm using the language just like you are. Just like people at home, we want you to use the language. We're using the language. And it's not always gonna be a win and go perfectly. That's for sure.
But good thing we have the tools, so we can make the least bad out of it.
And learn from it.
If it's bad, it's gonna be the least bad possible.
And learn from it, 100%, That shift though with the kind of pillar I'm talking about, like what would you call it? Is it spirituality that kind of changed, or what was it?
Yeah. Like,
What was that? Yes, let's hear about what that was like for you.
I started seeing the world differently. Like, the lie. That guy always talked about the lie. I didn't understand. And I had some experience and some traumas, and then I started seeing it. And when I started seeing it, everything was like making sense. And I went straight up to this guy. Hey, bro, we have to talk.
It was like that. Well, what was it like to see it? You start to see the patterns. What's the patterns you see, Antonio? Like in the world today, what's the pattern? What are you seeing on social media? What are you seeing, man? Are we talking about this fake light a little bit and the things that don't have value?
Yeah, but everyone wants to look like they are so
like flawless.
Yeah, like they do everything right. Like I'm so correct. I'm such a rightful human being. No, you're not. You've been making mistakes. I know you. I know you because I know me. If I'm not perfect, you are not. Doesn't matter what you show on your screen. Doesn't matter what I see here. I know, because I'm a human being too, and I have the tools that I have now.
They're acting full blue, like they got no drops of red.
Right? There's no real.
But then it points out the red in others though, which blues don't do that, reds do that. It's the craziest thing, man.
You gotta look for reds because the reds are the real ones. When the people show their flaws, Those are the real ones.
Like that they've had red, right?
Yeah,
you're right,
of course.
you're right.
And even then, sometimes they don't show all the reds, but you know there is. Everybody has it.
Yeah, but if you act blue, like you've never gotten red ever, like what? I just, I kind of think that might be the worst problem, is to say you have no problems.
I mean, look, I'm not telling you to go out and start saying everybody your problems and your flaws. No, it's not like that. But you just gotta be real.
Yeah, let's talk more of what that is. Like, I think in a way, like go and cue some of those things and energy up. Like, it's like you can say things that you've been through in a way that's resolved. And like if I were to say something like, I don't know, just something random, like talk about losing a friendship, you know? Someone's like, oh, I thought you talked to them, and you're like, yeah, actually we don't talk. If you say it in a way like, yeah, we don't, you know, that happened, I feel like it makes it kind of worse than it needs to. But if you're like, you know what, it was a journey, we had some differences, I wish them the best, but yeah, we haven't been in touch for a minute.
The first one,
yeah.
The first one, he wasn't in control. He didn't know what was going to happen.
My man.
What was happening? We drifted apart.
Yeah, and
Why?
It just
What
seemed
happened?
worse. It just
I
seemed
don't know.
worse.
Yeah, what, you stupid, bro? Come on. Right? But
It's frustrating
because you're supposed
because-
to know what's happening in your life. You're supposed to know. And a lot of people doesn't know. They just...
But this brings up a big problem, Antonio, because if we're not safe in our culture to admit that we don't know what we're doing, or that we're still racist, or that we're still have these opinions, then how are we going to get better?
Policed.
How are we going to get better?
It gets policed to say that you don't know what you're doing. That you don't know how to act.
But vulnerability allows stronger connection.
That you need help. It gets policed to say that you need help. You shouldn't.
But the classic thing that I get, though, Antonio, is people go, yeah, I mean, that's good, you know, you never know when someone's going to need that help, and I guess this thing you're doing is going to be good for them. And I'm like, then I usually hit them with their thoughts and just...
Because I don't need it.
Full price, and I'm like...
Those persons will need it. I don't need it.
Just the classic of like, hey, those shoes, if they were 50% off and they were supposed to be 200 and it's just $100, like, are you gonna pay 200 if she's like, no, there's actually not on sale? I would have a hard time. I'd be like, yeah, but there's a sticker on the box. It's in the 50% off section. What do you mean? You know, we like good deals, you know? I don't care how much money or whatever. But it's like, your thoughts are loaded with distortions, and if you don't know the formulas, you will pay full price. And so you're less likely to start that business. You're less likely to get out of that relationship. You're less likely to try out for that team. Man, I've been cut from teams and I still played. I've had coach pull me out of stuff, you know.
You know what happens when you pay full price for stuff? You start not being able to pay for everything.
You broke, straight up. You're
And
exhausted.
I'm not talking about money. And I'm not talking about money.
I think exhausted, right?
I'm talking about energy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about life.
Good point. Because then everything's just like so difficult. But that you hit something, Antonio. People who are trying to keep up that perfection, man, just like it's like a double life. They're like, I'm not gonna tell you. And the thing is, it like kills them. It's like more depression, more anxiety. The mind is like, hey, well, what is it? Are you mad at him or are you not? You don't say anything around them. Are you gonna tell your partner that this happened or not? Like, man, I've made my mistakes, but there's no better feeling than just to know, oh, you heard something? Well, cool, because I'm good with everything I've been through. Not that I'm proud of it, but I've accepted it. I have no secrets, baby. I'm good.
Yeah, that's the best way to feel. That's the best way to feel. I don't have to hide anything from you.
More free.
I know I have bad shit, but I don't have to hide it from you.
Yeah.
I don't care. I dealt it. I dealt it with it. It's already over.
I was just thinking in my head how few people truly have the discipline. And there's some areas in life that are more disciplined than others, you know? The way you train, Antonio, what you do in this sport, man, how hard is it, brother?
It is just different, bro. I mean, every work has has its bones, right? Has its bones. And ours, it's with our body. We have to endure. We have to be resistant. And there's no, I can't. Oh, it's too hard. There's no too hard. You gotta go. You gotta do it.
From that time in the plane, coming off of a loss to where you are now, there was still ups and downs, but it felt like you kind of kept
Oh yeah.
growing, huh?
Because the growth. Listen, guys. The growth doesn't mean a straight line. That's very important. The growth is not like this. The growth is like this. You go, but every time you go down, you go a little less down, and every time you go up, you go a little more up.
My man, but back to the problem with culture, just like in being Christian, right? Having a belief of Jesus Christ. That is my belief, and I'm open to the belief that anybody has. Whether you believe in him being the king or not, I believe in a king that will judge you from your heart. But that is just something through my experiences. I have that. But there's been people in religious settings that, yes, mine was like what you said. I usually go the zigzag, but you're doing the way, whatever, if it's up. But I have been kind of on and off the path. And when I do choices that were off the structure of the path, I'd have people go, well, I thought you were Christian, or I thought you were this. I'm like, I've always been. What do you mean? But they're like, yeah, but you did that thing. And like,
but
people
you're
don't
still
do that.
walking forward.
Yeah, but it's like, even people doing that thing of pointing it out is a thing you're not supposed to do. And I've had to learn to read in between the lines, brother, and just go like, hey, I'm on this journey for myself. I'm not doing it for extrinsic motivation. It's intrinsic. Like, I'm doing this for me. But people make it more difficult.
What I get from that is like, he's not your example. It's not like he's not trying to be God here. He's not trying to be Jesus Christ. I'm the guy who does everything right because I have the language. It's not like that.
No.
You're supposed to do everything right about you, like about your life. It's not because you saw someone, you saw something, and you want to have that feeling inside you that you want to change it, you want to start doing things different. Not because someone did.
And the language, and especially this Essentials album, giving you the best of my collection, which, man, we got a lot of albums to come. I never tell you what to do.
Never.
Was I ever like, no, man, you're going to have to do this, though. You're going to have to make this choice.
Nah.
I built it around you. So in a way, it's cookie cutter.
You make me realize.
But it's going to tailor to you, my man. And tailor to you, 100%. Where you get to use the language and structure everything around the goals that you have, the choices that you determine to be a loss or that you don't appreciate that you're doing, and align yourself. And pain is power, is it not?
Ooh, it is power, baby. I don't think I'd be in this position in my life right now as a fighter professionally if I had paid the price so much before. I would never. If I hadn't had those 3 losses in the UFC, and I feel like I'm more ready now to get the success that I know that I deserve, that I know that I can make.
Nah. It's a feeling being around you. I feel that too. I feel you're serious about it. You have a hunger for it. The language taught you how to use those experiences, the pain, as more of a power, though, right? Like in a way to organize it, right? Like when you wanted to.
Oh yeah, like all that pain. It's straight up fuel because you remember and you want to do different. You link up and you want to do different. You just don't want the same results, so you're gonna suffer more. But now you're as a fighter. I mean, suffering. It's like struggling, like wrestling. You're gonna suffer more because you want it more, and you know it needs to be like this. I am a fighter. I need to be like this. I need to suffer. It's my daily job. It's different when you out of your 8-hour job. And you go to your place, you can have whatever you want. You can have a big meal. I can't, but it's part of that's my bone. I don't have to go to 9 to 5.
Yeah, I don't really have.
I don't have to go 9 to 5, but I can't have the big dinner at night like I want.
Yeah.
It's always like this.
this guy when you see him have some time for some food.
When I can't eat,
when you have that reverse brick. Oh my gosh! If you're like, I can have that many this week, all right. Well, today we're already. Oh, it's all right.
It is from time to time because sometimes we have like to be strict diet and then we relax, and when it's relaxed, it's all
you gotta
worth
have
it.
the balance, but then I think it feels that much better, man, when it's more in the lines.
Everything that you don't do for a while that you really like and you don't do, you private yourself from that thing. When you do it, it's so much better. That's one of the things that makes me private myself from stuff, because I know that when I go there and do it again, it's gonna taste better, it's gonna feel better, because I'm privating myself and I want it.
Speaking of feeling better when you level up, it's such a cool feeling. Like when it happens, in a way, this is a level up right now. Just having had that goal and doing the things we had to do. This album, man, once this thing is just like ready to go, such a level up. This has been hard. What's a big level up for you right now in your career, in your goals? What you want? You want that belt?
I want that belt, baby. I want that belt, and then I'm gonna go for other division, and I'm gonna get other belt. That's gonna be the leveling up that I want.
Man, I see it.
There are levels still. It's not one level. I still have like 2 or 3 levels to get there.
But you have to get these first, right? To get
oh yeah,
there.
it's just chill.
That's the way it works.
But the thing is, I don't know what's gonna happen after my next fight. I know what's gonna happen in my next fight, but I know what's gonna happen after. I don't know, but I have a plan. I see it. That's the way I see it. I will get the belt, and then I'll drop one division, I'll get the other belt. I'm not being cocky saying it. That's just the way I see it. That's just my vision.
Now something that I want to kind of just tie in with what we're just saying that we already said is that we, in our relationship and the language, go ahead.
I just want to tell people, it's not cocky. It's not. You don't sound like a jerk when you have a plan. Even if you say it's gonna go right, it's right for you to have a plan. You should have a plan.
Those positive affirmations and saying it,
you gotta
it's gonna happen.
It doesn't matter if you say it, if you speak it out, put it out loud.
And carry yourself like it'll happen.
Put it there. It's no problem. It's not shameful. It's not ugly. It's not like, oh, look how he's acting like he's winning everything. Whatever. If that person thinks like that, she needs the language, bro. Because she doesn't know what's going on.
The frequency of who you imagine yourself being, I feel like we fit those shoes as we walk into it, man. And part of the secret is creating the sphere and being in the sphere. I definitely feel that there's like an added compass that works, that allows me to stay on the path, that stops working if I get off the path. And it's like a big part. I don't really feel alone in it. I feel like there's help in it. And my promise really is with the talents, you know. We get into that too, with talents. Man, we've been covering a lot of these concepts today, man. We hitting these things. But every person does have a talent. And I do believe everyone has worth. This really is just about my promise, listening to my heart, is to give the world the language. What happens after that, my conscience is clear, brother. Like, just give it to the world and
giving it to the world like the best way possible you can.
Which my standard's been high. My standard's been high.
That's what's the difference. I'm just giving it to the world. No, it's not like that. I care about it.
Yeah.
Once I care, I do the best job I can.
It's a good point, because giving it in a way has a delivery that I feel I have to do.
It's not like I'm giving it to you. It's not like that. I'm giving it to you. I'm teaching you. I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the work for you. It's not like I'm just giving it. I'm doing all the work. You just have to study. That's it.
Sometimes it seems like things that are free, though, the world doesn't value it. Unfortunately, they just think it's whatever. Like it has to have.
That's my point right now.
You know?
That's my point right now. That's why I'm like reinforcing it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I'm giving it to you. Oh, it's easy. Like, damn, you giving it to me?
I don't think light does that. I think light, the keys of light, it's like, I'm not going to just give you these keys. Like, you need to be ready for them. Or else that's on me. I'm not going to destroy you. Keys of dark, though, hey, catch, brother. You know?
You
Oh,
have
you
to
weren't
build up.
looking, you weren't ready, but you caught it already. It's yours now.
You have to build up. If I get it and I didn't build up, I don't know how to do with it. Maybe it's bad for me to have it.
Exactly. It's a responsibility, huh?
You,
So like I said, you having your experience with the language and letting everybody know it's awesome, man. I know it's making a difference in
Oh, yeah.
hearing people say this and seeing your success. We're going to see you hold that belt up. It's going to be something. It's going to be quite the level up.
you guys wait.
You're going to continue to strategize with who's in your life, where you put your energy, hitting your goals.
The little wings. The little wings.
My man, those baby wins, huh?
Baby wings, baby.
Just a little bit in those directions, huh? They're so important, man, because it actually just makes the game work, though.
Because when you have a little win and you start stacking them up, it's like you get excited about it.
Yeah.
You get a feeling that you gotta make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and you start growing and growing and growing until you make a mistake. No problem. You already built that pillar over here. Now I'm gonna start the other pillar. Start building it up. It's no problem to make the mistake. It's no problem to step out of the path for a second, even for a minute, but you know what you have to do.
Yeah, a little drop of that red, but in the world, you get that one drop. Oh, you're a thief. You're a cheater. You're this. Like we talk about that color wheel. It just goes too extreme. It's just too, you're that. And it's like, even a smoker, he'd have to smoke in his sleep, man. He would never take a breath without a smoke. You're just a smoker now if you smoke. Like, that's just who you are.
That's a judgment of other people.
Yes.
That shouldn't be the judgment of yourself thinking about you. Never. Other people can think whatever they want.
And that was a big thing, right? With just like the comments in your fights, people talking about things, and learning to just like block out the noise and hold your key, huh?
Once you're in there, it's just you against you. You gotta be ready. And it's like that in other stuffs in life.
Well, you're saying these things about if you get like a loss, it happens. We all have them, right? We all have red. It's good to see that people admit the red that they've had.
Sometimes
We've had some fights that were like incremental. I lost to, in the playoffs and championship, I was a shoelace tackle away from inches, man. So when you have that, it's normal that we're going to be like, feel more pressure to be precise, right? And beat ourselves up. But it's like, that's what Larry wants you to do. He wants you to be like, see, you can't. You can't.
That was about to be my point. You don't need to beat yourself up too much.
Yeah. It's a point, right, where it's like you've already addressed it.
Because that way you spend too much energy just feeling bad instead of correcting it. You just gotta accept fast. Once you accept fast, you can start changing it. You can start correcting it.
So a couple fellas on a plane who started getting data, and we used the language and things that we brought naturally from our lives, and we got lots of red to us. We got lots of flaws to us. We get losses.
Let's talk about some reds.
Let's do it.
I don't care. As a fighter, I like candy. I shouldn't, but I do. And it's the worst because I can't have them. And I don't like to post when I'm having them, but sometimes I do. I'm getting comfortable.
Do you feel that pressure sometimes?
Yeah, but I'm getting each time more comfortable feeling that pressure because I don't care. Because they don't know shit. They see me eating a chocolate cake one time and they...
He licked his lips. He was ready. You were like...
The chocolate cake one time, that cake one time. And they're going to tell you you're not a good athlete because you have... It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's not one attitude. Okay, I'm having this cake right now. But have you seen my week?
It's true. And that's the thing with the social media. It's like this little keyhole of like, Oh, I know. And honestly, man, lately, you know, joking with the Instagram thing, I know what I'm gonna have to do, which is part of the game, and I have to accept this. But you know how I am. I'm who you said what you said about me on playing, how we are. We've gone out. We've been in Vegas together. We've done these things together. That's not who
Twice.
I am. I'm not who I am. The amount of followers isn't who I am. But I've been kind of enjoying just the low key, and but I'm gonna do it because I made that promise that I'll give it to the world. So I will do that.
I promise to who?
To my higher power, brother.
Hell yeah.
You already know.
Promise to yourself.
And
to your
within
king.
myself too. And I love it. That's where we're at. And learned a lot today using that language. This is cool. This is a good experience.
I'm blessed. I feel blessed to be here today. I feel glad that I'm able to be experiencing it, like to be the first wave, the first, you know, to be in this first moment. I think it's gonna be great. I think if people realize it and start using it, like it is simple. You don't like using it like simple. Don't overthink it. It's just like equations.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. And I believe just being able to just watch the film in between the tracks, and you know, you talked about some of your red. I think I give them enough of my red and enough of my labels, but it's part of my story and how I learned the language and ways to just get people to know it. But I think they're gonna really dig it, and you're part of one of those scenes that have happened in my life where there's definitely some red that happened with that and after it, but it's gonna be quite the showdown, my man. And for you too. So check out Antonio. If you like what you're seeing, comment.
Check these out, baby.
We're gonna make some comments back and forth, you know what I mean? Like it, subscribe it. I guess that's what they say, right? Just keep doing it, and I'm gonna keep doing my best to give you the language. And we'll catch you next time, yeah?
Let's go.
Yeah.